Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and we're going to kick off the 50-cent late pick 5 at Saratoga on Sunday with our Spa Baby race. We're going 3/4 of a mile for 2-year-old fillies. It's race number 6, and as we take a look at this field, it's nice to see another overflow field. The 11 Ringy Dingy is entered as an also eligible. The 10 Camera, 5-2 on the morning line, and Nicole, why not? It's a $1 Million Baby by Curlin, trained by Todd Pletcher.
Absolutely. Why not? But I think that camera drawing toward the outside does open this field up a little bit. And as you're looking at it, it's really fun because it's one of those good horses can come from anywhere sort of races. It's a maiden special weight at Saratoga. It's something a lot of barns gear for. And you have everything from freshman sires to established sires to homebreds to horses who cost a relatively modest for this level, $175,000 to 7 figures, as you said. It's really fun to look at it that way.
Several first-time starters, several experienced horses. You're absolutely right. There's a little bit of everything. Let's start things out with one of the horses with prior racing experience. The number 1 is Candy Lover by one of my favorite under-the-radar stallions. Twirling Candy just does good work across the board. 18% winners with 2-year-olds. Candy Lover sold for $230,000 as a yearling, is from the family of Kentucky Derby winner Monarchos, and ran just fine in her career debut at Ellis Park, although she did finish behind Mystical Chant.
Yeah, the first 2 horses we come to here, Candy Lover and Mystical Chant, both coming out of that same race at Ellis, as you said. And we're flattered when the winner, Saratoga Secret, came back to give a very good effort in the Schuylerville on opening day. Cherie DeVoe, who trains Candy Lover, having a very good year in New York. And as you said, sire Twirling Candy, a classic sire, really just, he does everything.
Ricardo Santana Jr. takes the mount on the 1, Candy Lover. The 2 is Mystical Chant. One of my favorite angles in these 2-year-old races is a second-time starter trained by Steve Asmussen. He seems to move them up year after year, second time out. Mystical Chant sold for $345,000 as a March 2-year-old. The dam is a full sister to a juvenile Grade 1 stakes winner in Rigoletta, and I like the fact that she showed speed in her debut, and I have a feeling Joel Rosario's putting the pedal to the metal leaving the gate.
Absolutely. And this one showed speed, as you said, and that 56 buyer, the second best in this field among the experienced horses, could certainly take a step forward off of that. As you said, this barn often improves them second time out.
What a lovely pedigree on the number 3. I Like It Like That, who goes out for trainer Butch Reed. Jose Lascano takes the mount. This one is by the legendary Tappet. 18% winners with 2-year-old runners. The dam, not only was she a Grade 3 stakes place sprinter, but she's a half to champion sprinter La Verdad. Hot City Girl won the Charlestown Oaks around a 2-turn 7 furlongs. This filly has speed in her pedigree, and she ran on late in her debut, a good learning experience.
Definitely. That's exactly how I would interpret that race as well. Got some experience, got her feet wet, so to speak, on a wet fast track at Monmouth. As you said, just a beautiful pedigree. And Tappet, we talk so much about him as a classic sire, as, really, as that type of sire that, we tend to forget a little bit that he cut his teeth as a 2-year-old sire. He was the leading freshman, and he's still continuing to produce good 2-year-olds like Champion Essential Quality a couple of years ago.
One of the trainers that might not receive the press he deserves up at Saratoga because of the presence of all the top barns is Al Stahl. He just seems to do well every year with any kind of horse, and he trains the 4 Colonial Rose. This is a daughter of Constitution who sold for $210,000 as a yearling, and Constitution is another excellent juvenile debut stallion, winning with 19%. There is a lot of turf on the bottom of this pedigree, but I really like this work tab from Colonial Rose, not only at Churchill Downs, but a really quick half-mile breeze out of the gate the other day here at Saratoga.
Yeah, and absolutely refer to the Clocker reports produced by our colleague Mike Walsh and his team up at Saratoga for insight into not just how fast these horses worked, but how they worked fast, which is really the key. I've mentioned this a couple of times already with Constitution, but an angle I really like is when a horse has a strong season, especially a strong freshman season, looking for the 2-year-old crop that was conceived following that success, and that is this year's 2-year-olds for Constitution. They sold very well as yearlings last year. A lot is expected of them.
Julian Leperoux takes the mount on the 4, Colonial Rose. The 5 is Creditor, a short-leaf stable homebred trained by Wayne Lucas. Collected is the sire. He wins 9% with juveniles. This is a half to a stakes-winning turf router. There is some speed in the bottom of this pedigree, and I think it's a good sign that she took some money for her career debut. While she didn't show a lot of speed, maybe the addition of blinkers will perk her up.
I think the addition of blinkers will definitely help. And I like collected offspring with some experience. So the fact that this one went out and had a little bit of a learning experience is definitely a plus. Should move forward with the blinkers. And you see that very good graded winning 2-year-old position limit in the family there.
I also like Lucas-trained second-time starters. I think Wayne sometimes gives them a race for experience. Pratt takes the mount. The 6 is Love to Eat, trained by Michael Maker. Tyler Gaffalione takes the mount, a $115,000 yearling, sold up for $230 at March. Lots of speed on the bottom, and Matoli, the first crop sire, was very fleet.
Yeah, Matoli, a champion sprinter, won the Breeders' Cup Sprint, won the Met Mile as well, which has long been considered a stallion-making race, and Matoli well on his way to adding his name to that list of good stallions who have come out of that. He's currently leading the freshman sire list by earnings. He has 4 winners, and he also has stakes place fillies at Ellis and Woodbine to his credit. Love to Eat does have the best buyer in the field among those who come in with a start under their belts.
And she earned that buyer after breaking from the inside post. A good amount of experience in that race. The 7 is Alpine Princess. This is a daughter of 2-year-old champion Classic Empire, going out for trainer Brad Cox. Florence Giroux takes the mount. The second dam was a 2-year-old debut winner. The dam is a half to a multiple stakes winning turf sprinter, so there's speed in the pedigree, and this horse showed some speed out of the gate at Churchill Downs earlier in the month.
Yeah, and if this one is overlooked a little bit in favor of the experienced horses in the field, which would be understandable, she could definitely offer some value. A lot of 2-year-old ability on both sides of the family by champion 2-year-old Classic Empire, and from the family, as you pointed out, of some precocious horses as well.
Up next is the 8 Life's Joy, another daughter of Matoli. This one trained by Bill Mott. Junior Alvarado takes them out. A half to a couple of juvenile stakes winners, including Brazen Persuasion, who had a grade 3. This one sold for $300,000 as a yearling. I know that Mott worked this horse out of the gate 2 back with Sugar High, who was a very impressive debut winner earlier in the meet. Now, Life's Joy couldn't keep up with Sugar High, but I don't really think that's a black mark against Life's Joy because Sugar High ran so well.
Absolutely. I think she was, flattered by that performance from her stable mate. As we said, freshman sire Matoli, they have come out running. Life's Joy was entered main track only midweek this week, didn't get to go, will debut on Sunday, and I think she's probably sitting on go for Bill Mott.
Sam's Treasure is the number 9, going out for Wesley Ward. Jose Ortiz takes the mount. This is a $700,000 yearling by Munnings, who wins 18% with juveniles. Lots of class in this family, and this filly got a nice debut experience on the turf, showed a little bit of speed, ran an okay second, and can certainly move forward off that effort.
Absolutely. And we've talked a little bit about Munnings, who has just developed into one of the nation's elite sires. And his offspring, they can run on anything, dirt, turf. The fact that this one debuted on the turf, ran well, and is now moving to dirt makes me feel that, this is where they think she belongs and that they're expecting an improved effort here.
And last but certainly not least in the body of the field is the number 10 Camera, who sold for over $1 million as a yearling by the sensational stallion Curlin. The dam was multiple grade 1 stakes placed on dirt at 2. She was a debut winner. Family of More Than Real, who won a Breeders' Cup race for 2-year-olds on the turf. Bullet workouts for Todd Pletcher. Really curious to see what we get from Camera, not only here, but as they stretch her out down the road.
Absolutely. I would have to think that they're going to consider this one, say, a spin away candidate toward the end of the meet if she runs well. She is up against the outside post here, as we noted, but just, a lot to like here, obviously. Check out the Clocker reports for sure on those bullet works by the great Curlin, who we talk about all the time as a classic sire and stamina influence, but he does have 2-year-old champion Good Magic on his resume and some 2-year-old ability in the female family to balance all of that stamina out a little bit early in the career.
And if we have a scratch, the 11 Ringy Dingy would draw in for trainer Danny Gargan, who's having a really nice meet with his 2-year-olds, and this is an expensive daughter of Dialed In. Let's take a look at our top picks for our Sunday Spa baby race. We both like one of the Matoli progeny, the 8 Life's Joy. I just love the speed on the bottom of this pedigree. Of course, Matoli even infuses more speed.
Absolutely. And just, reading between the lines here, I think this one is, as I said, is sitting on go for Bill Mott. Worked in company with that 2-year-old debut winner recently. I think they were gearing both of those horses up for strong efforts first time out. This one was entered midweek and didn't get to go. I think she's going to be sitting on go on Sunday.
I like Life's Joy as well, but I do want to use Colonial Rose for the perennially underrated Al Stall. A little bit of turf in this pedigree, but some nice workouts, and Constitution does very well with his juvenile debut runners. 8, 2, 1, and 10 for Nicole, 8, 4, 6, and 2 for me. It's our Sunday Spa baby race, a really nice one for the 2-year-old fillies. Good luck.